When a rocket shoots off from planet Earth and enters into space, it needs to reach a certain speed in order to pull away from Earth and exit out into space. So to jolt out of Earth's atmosphere, it needs to reach something called escape velocity. Okay, this is the speed required to leave the gravitational pull of planet Earth and jolt out into space. And if this speed isn't reached, then the rocket will just remain in Earth's atmosphere. It'll be pulled back down to Earth, and that's where it'll remain. So can you imagine the first humans leaving Earth? Not only having to deal with this angst of exiting this gravitational pull safely and jolting out into space. Because with Earth, there's a familiarity to it. There's a certain set of rules, gravity, how things work. And these people had to worry about exiting all of that familiar place and entering into space where there's a different set of rules. Like, what if this happens? What if we're not okay? What if something goes wrong? There's also this emotional type of gravity that they had to worry about with their life situation, their family, their familiar routine on planet Earth, how things work. They could have easily stayed on Earth and been completely fine. But they made this decision this commitment to jolt out of Earth's atmosphere and go explore and experience something different. The person you aim to become works the same way. With the old you, there's a certain gravity to that person. There's a certain set of experiences, habits, routines, ways of thinking. There's a certain experience in this atmosphere. And in order to leave the old you, you have to reach a certain speed. There's a certain commitment required in order to leave the atmosphere of the old you and jolt out into space. And when you jolt out into space there, maybe you remain for a little bit and feel out that experience. But then you can find this new you who also has an atmosphere, a gravity. This person also has a gravity to them, a certain set of habits, routines, experiences, way of being, way of thinking, way of talking to themselves. So both of these people, the old you and the new you, both have gravity and atmosphere, but a little different set of rules on how things work. So in order to exit the new you and enter the new you, in order to exit the old you and enter the new you, you need to become aware of this escape velocity, this exit speed that's required. And you do this by becoming aware of what is the certain rules, the certain set of experiences that this new you lives by. This new planet, this new you has an atmosphere, has a set of experiences, has a standard, a set of rules, has a law to it, right? How do things work on this planet? What is the standard? What's the habits? What's the routine? What's the thinking pattern? How do you feel? Okay? What is the gravity of this new you? You need to become aware of what that looks like. What's the set of rules? Because in order to leave the old you and pull out of this gravity, you need to start aligning yourself with those rules of the new you. So in order to exit this atmosphere of the old you, you have to pull away from this atmosphere. You have to pull away from the gravity. You need to pull away from those habits, routines, ways of thinking, ways of feeling. You have to experience something different. And what you're aiming for is the experience that you want to have with this new you. Okay? So this is where these universal alignments get interesting. Because when we speak about identity and shifting from the old you to the new you, when we speak of building a new self-concept, which is my main focus with the people that I work with sales pros and entrepreneurs on this self-concept energy, this identity shift, this foundational level of achievement. You don't get different results by being the same person. We think that once we get the results, then we become that person. You need to become the person first, then you have the experience of that person. See, you don't experience the atmosphere of this new you by still being on this planet over here. You need to be this person first, then you have the gravity. Then you pull things your way. Then you have that atmospheric experience on that planet. We want to think that we can get results by being this old you. We want to think we can get the atmosphere, these rules over here, by still being this person. You have to become someone different. You have to feel something different. And that starts in here. Your self-concept, how you view yourself, your baseline for feeling. How do you feel on a daily basis? Do you train yourself on feelings of abundance, on a higher energetic state? Do you train yourself on these things like a muscle? Because you get clear on what are the rules with the new you, how does the new you feel, what is their routine experience, what is their baseline, their standard, and you slowly pull away from the old you by practicing that new standard. And you pull away from the old you and snap out of that atmosphere, and you get pulled in by the gravity of that new you. So the person you aim to become works the same way. You need to reach the escape velocity. You need to reach the speed required in order to leave and experience something different. And that gravity of the old you is strongest right when you're about to snap out of it. You can think of that movie Interstellar, if you've seen it, where he's trying to park the thing, that big spaceship. He's trying to park the thing, and the gravity is just right when he's about to connect with it, it's just pulling him, almost making him black out. But you can think of this in the same way. That gravity is going to be strongest right out here before you snap. And when that happens, when you exit the atmosphere of the old you by practicing, training yourself on the atmosphere of the new you, you'll know when that switch happens.